Testing 1 2. We live.
Hello.
Yo 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 yo.
How's everybody doing today?
What's up, everybody?
Let's talk about the measure of men.
Some men's up in here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I had wanted to bring some wives on, but yeah, I got canceled. Guess the husbands told them
Them damn
Don't-
dominant men,
don't you get on that talking shit.
them dominant husbands,
Some Ike Turners
We don't
married
want
to some
nobody
Ikes.
going to the ER. Yeah.
Nah, I ain't trying to break up no happy homes.
No.
I ain't trying to do that. Yeah, okay, we are.
What,
We
what
good.
what did you have in mind for these wives to discuss?
No, well, it wasn't for the purpose of. Well, it might have been for the purpose of men. It was more on the purpose of what were they looking for when they stuff from a woman's point of view. Um, I've been seeing so much lately, with the person we watch, and the women been talking about that, right?
Oh yeah,
And
they're triggered.
yeah,
Uh,
I've been all week on different groups, and I've been seeing the comments, scrolling through. Women are talking about it. They're talking about men, and being husbands. What
okay,
they need from men to be husbands and everything else. So it's a bunch of single women, so I don't know how they would know. I mean, but but uh, that's why I'm in a married group also. So
okay,
I wanted to get some females that were married to talk about it, so they could kind of break down what they look for, give a gauge to women that are trying to be married, sort of what they could look for. Because I've saw like I posted some questions like, what would you look for in your husband? And I had like a list like that. like,
damn.
like 12. Pretty much all of them had about 10 to 12 things they listed. I'm like, "Ah,
I think the one thing that the content creator we're talking about that we look at from time to time, the
mm,
one thing that he demonstrates over and over is when women talk about having a husband, they never really it's never really taken serious. When I say that in the fact of when he start asking certain questions, they don't either they have 100 answers or they have no
yeah,
answers, which means they either want, like you said, they got a laundry list this long or what this man needs to be, or they don't know,
mm,
what the man needs to be. And I don't think a lot of them ever even think about it. I think a lot of women think they can just go out and get a husband whenever they're ready to be married, and that's just not the case. I think the statistic is 1 in 4 black
1 and 4. Hmm.
will ever be married. That's only 25%.
Yeah. When back in the 60s used to be like 75,
That's
80%. So
absolutely, but that's before social media showed you something. Oh, I want my husband to look like this, or I want him to drive that kind of car.
or movies started really focusing on black people
Right,
because
right.
we didn't used to be the star of the show.
So we thought a lot of people thought it wasn't attainable. I think
Yeah.
because they weren't the star of the show, but
Yeah. It was more or less just something that they would hear about, or they read about. When you read
right.
about something, it's something totally different when you see it play out in action
Yeah,
films
because
and
when you
pictures.
read it, it's almost like a fairy tale.
Hmm.
You have to come up with the image in your head. You have to kind of make your own characters the way they look, the how. But when you see it on film, they take all the hard work out for you. You just get to sit there and be entertained for
Hmm.
an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I think also along with the entertainment, it makes it seem more real, more obtainable because they start to measure, they start to put themselves in the character's place, the female's place,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, and measure themselves up to the female. Okay, you know what? I'm about her look. I'm
Yeah.
about her fit.
Yeah.
I'm about her size and everything. She can get it. I can get it. And this is a great man she got.
Right.
So
Right. And let me say, I know women are very smart, very intelligent, but a lot of times, and I'm just speaking of the women in my life,
mm,
you know, they look at TV as though these are real events, and I'm like, that's a script, right? They said cut,
yeah,
let's try that again. This time, not so much drama, and or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times they get caught up in those storylines because it is so perfect.
yeah.
It's like, man, I wish I could have that, but that took many takes to get it. That was a production. Somebody had to write it out.
Yeah.
Somebody had to direct it. Had to go out and pay people to pretend to be in these roles.
I think the biggest difference with that too is like the communication part of it. Like the whole thing, the man says something perfect all the
Oh
time,
yeah,
and women expect this from men. They expect that perfect dialogue, him to think a certain way, and why can't you, you know, um, and it's not a realistic. Not saying it's not realistic because you have people that might be that way, but it's not 100% realistic.
oh, it's
You
probably a
know,
small amount of people
yeah.
who can just, I mean, everybody, hot from time to time where they
Mm.
can come up with something depending on the scenario, but to
Mm.
be able to do that, in any scenario
Or
every
everyday
day,
scenario.
yeah,
Yeah, like
uh,
he's gonna have perfect dialogue. Like, baby, what's going on in your life? Oh well,
right.
I just said that, and
That's the right
and just
question.
and they just go off and they get into these long
Heartfelt
dialogues and yeah,
dialogue.
yeah, it
It,
just
it's interesting, but I think that's a good place to go with. Where do women get their expectations of husbands? Do you think it's from film or from Do you think
well.
these? I feel like this. Do you think it's their own expectations of a husband, or is it influenced by outside sources?
I think it's more or less influence. We got to go back to childhood, right? So majorities females never saw, and we're talking to black community. I have to say this because I don't want no women to get on here like you don't know what he's talking about.
I have.
Um and we talking about the black community. So if majority of people in the black community never didn't have fathers in their household, if they didn't have that, then where do they see this actively playing out at? You know,
Yeah.
they didn't see it happening. Growing up, they didn't see it happening. So it wouldn't have been when they was growing up. When they were coming of age, they didn't see it happening. Where would you see it actively happen at?
Yeah.
You doing your own thing. When you teenage years, you looking for a boy to do your thing with. So you're not paying attention
Right.
to anybody else doing their thing. You're doing your own thing. So and then as an adult, you think you know what you know, so you're going looking for something based on whatever you learn.
Based on that short experience,
Yeah.
even though it seems like a long time, that's
Mhm,
only a
mhm,
short period of life
mhm. So, yeah, based on that, it's not anything that I don't think is rooted in experience
or
or
reality.
or reality of that person's reality.
Hmm.
It's somebody that's reality that's been fed to you.
Okay.
Um, for the men, I think it's more or less for the men. I think this disconnect also. We as men or husbands, I think we tend to see what society has for us or what we need to do in society.
Hmm.
And it kind of goes along with, you know, what a woman needs from us
Okay.
majority times. Now we have men that, don't give a damn. And, we have those guys, we call them F boys, them dudes that don't give a damn and, they do what they do. But if a man is going to take on a wife, I think majority of men that do try to get the woman to say, I
Hmm.
do look for a wife, I think they are more rooted in reality, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I think as a male, especially a black male, I don't think it makes a difference when it comes to this. But I put a little emphasis on that because I'm a black male. But
Mhm.
men are hit with reality a lot sooner in
Yeah.
life,
Mm.
um, whatever it may be. You know, getting into it with the school bully,
Mm.
whatever. But reality comes very early in life, and you learn to deal with it and how to maneuver through life. With that reality.
Mm.
So, and a lot of times women are, especially in today's society, they're kind of And I think that's well. Let me not get too far off, but a lot of times they kind of protect it. They're
Hmm.
sheltered a little
Hmm.
bit,
Hmm.
and I think that I was going to say I think that's what comes this whole gender equality thing is coming from because
Hmm.
they feel like they're being left out. But it
Hmm.
was, I guess that's just the way society deemed it should be. That's the way society veered off to was protecting the female gender and or limited exposure of what real life had waiting for them out there.
No, I think it's more. I mean, and this goes back to every walk in every society. More or less, they protect their women.
Hmm.
They bear the kids, so you
Yeah,
have to protect the women.
yeah. Because without them, it's
Yeah,
no.
your race is messed
Yeah,
up. So
yeah,
so it goes back to that. I think with the boys being, being parented different ways. It we can people can argue all day long whether it's right or wrong, but the thing is, people parent boys different than they parent girls.
absolutely.
So with girls, it's more of a spoon fed certain things, and oh, baby this, baby, you babied, and the boys like, okay, whatever,
Yeah, all right,
let,
stupid.
let him do,
Look,
yeah, exactly.
let me tell you one more time.
You dumbass.
how,
What you dumbass.
how long you gonna be stupid? Huh? I know you're just 8 years old, but when you building this house, you
Mm,
you don't hammer
mm,
your hand into the wall.
mm,
So, well, yeah. I mean, all of that I think plays into it, and then it comes to a head. We, and I still think women should be sheltered from a lot of things. They shouldn't have to deal with, and that's just my personal
mm,
opinion. But it does have its repercussions on the other side.
mm.
Like they become adults, and now they think they understand. And I'm speaking for women, so y'all DM him if you have any
Ah,
women that
don't do it.
they think they
Don't do
understand what they want in a
it.
man. But I hear some of the stuff, and I think it's funny because I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting what you want. I
Hmm.
think you should want whatever, but I think that what they don't ask is how realistic is that? It's I always like to go to the height. They want somebody 6 feet or taller. Well, I think it's what less than 10% of men are 6 feet.
Yeah, maybe about 13% out of
Is
that.
it
Yeah,
13?
I
Well,
think it's
that's
13%.
more.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the other 87 men in that group
Hmm.
are they completely out of the running.
Hmm.
They can't have no woman because everybody looking for somebody 6 feet or taller.
Yeah.
It's and that's one of those things where they say it, not realizing the reality of
Yeah.
a 6 foot tall man.
Yeah. Nobody checks figures on these things. And this is something that I posted actually, that I'm gonna start this podcast for the women.
Oh,
To relate certain things to women, how men think and different stuff, relationships. If they have advice on, parenting boys or whatever they got, they bring it to me. So I did this because there's a disconnect. There's a big
oh
disconnect
yeah.
from what we know as men and what they think, how they think we should react to certain things, or how they think we should act,
Mm,
being looking at us as being men. So even in parenting boys, when you parent boys, if you do if you do a certain thing to a boy, if you shelter him a certain way, you're damaging this boy, and you really don't even know it. You have all the best intentions in the world,
yeah,
but he's going to come out damaged, and then some other woman is going to be like, well, you who raised you, who raised you, you're not self-sufficient,
right,
your mama's boy.
yeah,
um you don't know how to you don't have no go out and get up and get it about yourself.
right.
So that's that shelter thing, and the mother has the best intentions in the world.
She does.
you know
It's from a place of love,
mhm,
but that doesn't mean it's not harmful in
mhm,
the long
mhm,
run because I had this struggle in my own household, and it wasn't to that extreme, but just explaining to her, to my wife, when I say her,
mhm, mhm.
um,
Hey, Miss Kendra.
right. When you do certain things with our son, you're not preparing him for the
Yeah.
future. Nobody's gonna baby him like his mama.
Yeah. Hmm.
And that's fine in your own little time with insignificant things. But
Yeah.
when you're talking about serious stuff, responsibility, accountability,
Hmm.
you gotta hold them to the highest standard.
Yeah.
And you can't let them slide because that develops a poor man
Hmm.
in the long run. And nobody, if he's gonna be the provider of the world, he has to have
He
accountability and
he has to be
responsibility.
accountable.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has to
absolutely,
hold himself accountable.
absolutely.
If nobody else will, he has to be able to hold himself
There you
accountable.
go. And I
Yeah.
tell us, I know where it's coming from. I know it's coming from a place of love,
Mm-hmm.
but but it's not helping. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just because you loved him and you don't want to see him go through anything bad, doesn't mean it's going to benefit him in the long run. You got to go through some shit in
Mm-hmm.
order to, if everything was always good, you don't know what, you don't know
Yeah,
anything
you don't know
different.
when the struggle is
Yeah,
going to happen. You know, when struggle and then when struggle happens, you're gonna break down.
yeah. You think the world is over. You're like,
Yeah.
damn, why is it? But you realize you live and you learn. Everybody has been through some kind of struggle. You
Mm-hmm.
know, many have been through the same struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us have been through some of the same struggles, not the same situation, but the same struggle. So this, but I understand that situation 100, and like I know it's coming from love,
Yeah. Yeah.
or just I don't want to see my baby go through this, but it's something that you have to go through.
Yeah. Like I used to try to tell my son's mother, and this is it's gonna be kind of fucked up. I mean, yeah, I'm just warning y'all, it's gonna be kind of
Hey
fucked
man,
up.
go.
But this is a personal thing. I actually say it. Um, if you was raising a child and your child was Down syndrome or something like that, autistic,
Mm-hmm,
then hands off. You know, that child's gonna need you for the rest of their life.
mm-hmm,
But you're raising a child that's gonna go out into the world and actually have to do something, and he's gonna want a woman, and a woman's gonna be looking at him to do something, and he's not prepared for it because of whatever you're doing.
mm-hmm.
So, if in that situation alone, you're not helping. You're really not helping.
I guess I'm a terrible human being because I think you're supposed to treat the Down syndrome the same way. You hold them to a certain whatever
Eh,
level of accountability
Nah.
they can achieve. You hold them to that because
Um.
many of them, I think it's levels to a
mm,
lot of this stuff, and
yeah.
and you have to parent according to
Where they're.
where your child is,
Mm.
and if they have if they got some some responsibility in them, you got to drag it out of their
Mm.
ass. In my,
No, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. I say that because I don't. I've never had a child that's
right,
has that,
right,
so
and
I
I
don't
couldn't
know.
imagine
Yeah.
how hard that is,
Yeah.
but and it's so easy to just want to love on them, and and to try to protect them from
Mm.
everything because you see they come disadvantaged
Yeah.
in
Already. Mm.
right,
Mm.
but to be honest, we all come here with some disadvantages, some more than the other,
Mm-hmm.
so that's kind of part of life. You got to learn how to overcome and deal with these things. So
Yeah. So yeah. And that's the thing. Like we don't get as parents. I think if you have a man, and I could say this is all generalizations, ladies. But if you have a man, this is his responsibility as a man to impart these things in raising kids.
absolutely.
We have to do this at a certain age. I think at a certain age, and it used to be, I used to think 13 or something, but I think it's younger now because world moves so fast.
Hmm.
I think maybe about 10, 11, you need to start trying to teach your children certain things in life.
Yeah,
You need to try to, hey, they got to grow up quicker. I mean, they have all the access to all the technology,
that's
so
right.
they're going to grow up quicker
That's
whether you
right.
try it or not. You cannot baby a child these days.
Yeah, yeah. My son had X video, pulled up on his phone.
XXX,
Yeah,
triple X.
and I was against the phone, but I was like, well,
Me too.
what do you think he
Yeah.
would do with a
Yeah.
phone?
Hmm?
If I was 10 and I had access to that, I would have been like, yeah,
Mhm.
I would have got it going
All the
on.
free stuff.
Yeah,
Because back in the day, we used to do the rabbit ears and everything. Hold it right there.
man,
Hold it right there. Oh, Teddy.
it was you had to work hard for porn
Yes,
back in
we
the
had to
day.
work hard
Y'all
for
don't even
porn.
understand.
Mhm.
It's so simple now. It's not even fun no more.
No. Mm,
But the struggle, the fight to get it
mm.
was the reward in the end with porn. But it's not even
Eh,
hard
hey,
anymore.
that's part of the hunt, right?
That's right.
We
That's part of being a
understand. Yeah,
man.
part of being a man, hunting for the woman. You had to hunt for
Yeah,
things.
you had to hunt for it, man.
Mhm.
But you're right. Uh, and you can't even really put an age on it now when you have to start exposing your kids. You just kind of got to keep your finger on them and say, okay, this he ready for this, or she's
Mhm.
ready for this conversation, or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. Because it used to be a time, when they're 10, we talk about this. When they're
Mhm.
13, talk.
Mhm.
You can't do that anymore because this is the information age,
Mhm.
and it's something that we didn't have ready access to. Is
Yeah.
information now. Anything you want to know, you can find it if you so
Yeah.
desire, or you can find something about it. It might not be very accurate, but you can somebody will tell you something to
Yeah,
go along
and the
with it.
kids, not it might not be
Right,
your child, but in
right.
class they passing notes about it. They texting, it's not even passing notes because they all have phones. They texting each other.
They
Oh
draw
man,
pictures.
look at this link, and you sitting up there, she busting it open, and
You're like,
like
what
oh
is
shit.
going? And you had no idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's when my daughter went through middle school,
Mm.
not her particularly, but some of the stuff that was going on in the middle school, it was just it's like everything that kids did in high school, it went back all the way to middle school. Now the
Yeah,
high schoolers were mature; they had already
yeah,
went through all this stuff.
yeah, yeah,
They was trying to plan their lives and everything. Whereas when I was coming along, that's the kind of stuff we did in high school. But
mm,
the middle schoolers were going through it. But they, half of them hadn't hit puberty yet, but they
yeah.
still trying to play this role. And I was like, man, this is tough. Middle school was worse than
In high
anything.
school, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what technology. That's what information does.
Hmm.
It pushes you. It educates you quicker,
Sooner, yeah.
so it pushes you to the next level. So
Although
you
you,
got high school like college students now.
yeah, yeah, right.
Mm,
Because I mean, you talk to some of the high schoolers now, they're very mature. I
mm,
mean, they got their purpose in life. They know
mm,
what they want to do, and it's impressive to me talking to a lot of them. But I remember when I was in high school, I was just like,
mm, yeah,
oh, that's
yeah,
12th
mm,
grade.
yeah.
Graduate now. Oh,
Oh
okay.
shit, yeah.
Now
This
what?
was.
Now what I'm supposed to
Mm,
do, right?
mm,
But yeah, these jokers they on the ball, man.
mm,
But I guess with the bombardment of information now, it still doesn't say that the mentality is there for them to
yeah,
understand it or
yeah.
how to handle that
Mm,
information. And I think that's the thing I see now is it's they're all over the place with this information because it's information is dangerous in the wrong hands
mm.
or without the right
Yeah, without the right
right
guidance.
right
Mm,
understanding
mm.
of it, man.
Also, you got to look at and this is going back. We gonna back up to the husband aspect.
Hmm.
The reason I say husband because we not gonna talk about baby dads. We got enough of that right now. We have enough of that shit. It's time to start telling our community we need to be
You need to be married.
we need to try to get our young girls married. Try to get them gear them to understand that this serves a purpose.
Absolutely.
You know, baby mamas is easy. That's easy to do.
Oh man.
But to actually be in one in family, husband and wife, and then they can bring a bigger picture to the kids if y'all work together.
Right. Right.
Um, and our young girls need to understand, boys just aren't, oh, he's cute and he this, that, the other. Okay, he has to serve a purpose also.
Hmm. He should be
He
able to do some things.
Yeah, he has to do some things. He has to have knowledge of whatever, he has to have knowledge. A dumb boy can't do anything for you. He has to be willing to work. He has to be willing to go out there and be able to help feed. These days you can't expect a man to do it all.
Hmm.
Inflation and everything else would it be? But hey Charlene, classmate, old classmate.
Preach.
Yeah, you can't expect him to do everything. He has to be able to lead you
Hmm.
in the right path. So that's where knowledge comes back to knowledge.
Yeah.
He has to be able to protect you. So that's part of the thing of being a husband. Um, you don't want no scary dude, a dude that's gonna fold under pressure. So
Right.
you need a certain type of man. I think that's the three basic things. If I forgot anything, jump in there.
Well,
But I think that's three basic things that I know.
I just as far as we took I used to think marriage was one thing, but then I realized you're providing almost like a community,
Hmm.
a covenant
Hmm.
for your family, to develop better citizens in the world, pretty much. And without that, it's just a lot of stuff kind of falls apart. I mean, because it's hard enough raising a family with two adults
Hmm.
in the household. So just imagine one adult trying to keep the lights on, keep kids clothed, fed,
Hmm.
whatever the case may be, and trying to structure them so they can be a outstanding citizen in society.
Hmm.
It's hard work. It's hard work for a family of five, or well, a group of five.
The
But
group of five, yeah.
yeah, but just for a single individual to try to
Mm.
do that, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's impossible. You may do some things very well. That
Hmm.
child might be well versed in one thing, but it's going to be several other things that child is going to be lacking
Gonna be lacking it.
with one parent in the
Mm.
household, be it male or female. But in today's society, we see it more so with females.
Yeah,
So,
with female. And I mean, and shout out to the females that doing on your own. I applaud
oh
you.
yeah,
You're doing what you can do,
right, and
and you,
that's
you
the
could be
best you
doing
can
an
do.
amazing job. But to be honest, majority of that, the way the child turns out, is the luck of the draw at some point. Because it takes with how the child is, mentally,
Hmm.
the surrounding, who the child has around them. A lot of that stuff that you cannot, you
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 can't
don't have
police
no,
it
yeah,
completely.
yeah, you have no control over the whole
Nah,
thing. And I understand that you might have to do it, but we have right now. What we're talking about is to the future generation.
yeah.
I can't do anything about
Well,
who's going through whatever right now.
spill milk. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do with
yeah.
that. Clean it up and let's do better.
And I think oftentimes when we talk about stuff like this, men and women
Hmm.
talk about stuff like that, it's because they think it's bashing because, well, you're telling me whatever. And it's like, no, I mean, we can talk about what's going on.
Hmm.
We could talk about how we think it got this way. And we could talk about how to remedy the situation.
How we see we can fix it.
Yeah, to fix it for the future generations because, we got, we going to be gone one day.
Yeah,
But our kids still gonna be here, and they're gonna be passing on whatever knowledge we did give them, or lack of knowledge,
to that next generation.
yeah, to the next generation.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think a lot of times it's taken as bashing. It's because it's negative things.
Hmm.
It, for the most part, people don't sit around and talk about the good parts. We gonna talk about the stuff that sticks in our side or
Hmm.
whatever. So when you bring up negativity and you discuss it at a intense level,
Hmm.
it appears to be bashing, but
Hmm.
it's not at all bashing. You're just being honest
Hmm.
and open about it, and hopefully you can get to a solution. By doing that, because for too long things have just been people have turned the other what they call the other cheek,
Yeah,
or they
turn a
look
blind eye to
blind
the.
eye. There you go. They turn the blind eye, or look the other way,
Hmm.
and nothing gets fixed like that.
No,
I had
no.
to I had to learn that the hard way. Not facing your problems. So
Hmm. No, no. I mean, it compounds, and
it
then you
gets
have
worse.
absolute no control
It
over
gets
over the
worse.
problem
Yeah, it
when you
gets
don't
worse.
address it.
The longer you let it go on, the worse it gets. It's like a leaking
Mm.
roof.
And I want to say our problem in the black community has been going on 50 something years,
Easy.
about 50 something years. So we have what we have, and now I hear people addressing it, that once again, women say they want a leader, they want a man, they want a masculine figure, right? They're asking for this.
Hmm.
But when the man steps up, how do they treat that man?
Right. Right. Um,
Attacked.
he's attacked. He's not. He's questioned.
Hmm.
Uh,
Is he gay?
right.
You must be gay.
Must be gay.
You hate black
Or
women.
like when you brought up the story when you're working in the store and the
Mm-hmm.
lady questions you about your
Yeah.
ability to do what she needed
Yeah.
done. But
Hmm.
I work in this store, not you. I know I'm working here for a reason. But
Hmm.
when you have a set of skills and you use those, or you perform or you show those things, you shouldn't be questioned about them.
Hmm.
Now, if somebody's trying to, really gather information, that's one thing
Hmm.
for them to question. But when they question your ability, when you've been doing it longer than they have,
Yeah.
because they've never done it, you know. But that's what you see a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times. And I was thinking about this the other day, how hard it must be for, say, a single woman
Mm-hmm.
goes out, gets a high level of education, becomes a high earner,
Mm-hmm.
to interact with a man who maybe is not earning as much money as her, because she probably feels what she sees in herself is what she wants in a man, but that's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what a man wants in a
Going
woman.
in her. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
And so, I can see why they feel like they're better. And then the guy, he's like, well, she trying to play the man role, and a lot of women say, oh, he's intimidated by it, or and I don't think it's that. I think
Hmm.
it's you you trying to be a one-stop shop. You
Hmm.
trying to be Walmart of a person.
Hmm.
What you need me for?
Yeah.
So they just move on to somebody
Yeah.
who can appreciate what they bring to the
Mm-hmm.
table more so than somebody who feel like they already have everything, and
Mm-hmm.
you know you know what you have is peanuts compared to
Yeah.
what
So
they have.
so and I was going to talk about this Wednesday. The show that I'm talking about, the podcast I'm doing, it starts Wednesday. I'm doing Ashley's show on Tuesday, then I do mine Wednesday, and then I do hers again Thursday. So I was going to speak on that, right? So what I was going to talk about was the fact of, the story of Icarus.
Yeah, they flew too close to the sun.
Okay.
That Icarus.
Black women are Icarus. Think about it.
Okay, let's break that down. Break it down
The
for me, bro.
height of the black woman, she's the highest she's ever been
Oh yeah.
in history.
Hmm.
The most education, the paid, money, education, just everything.
Hmm.
She got everything going for herself, right? But she's too close to the sun. Black men are well, majority of black men are beneath them.
Yeah.
So the thing
Mhm.
is, she has to go somewhere. I mean, and if you get too far close up to the sun, you're gonna have to go down.
And you
You're
up
gonna
there,
go down.
and you up there
Yeah,
by yourself.
yeah, by yourself. Yeah.
So That's a good analogy,
So,
man. That's pretty good.
and it's women tend to say they're settling, right?
Oh,
They tend to say they're settling, and I don't. Okay, I'm gonna stay away from that because I'm gonna go on the Wednesday show
yeah,
because
don't mess up Wednesday for the people.
I've been in deep in my thoughts for 2 days. You know, up late at night doing what I do and just sitting there thinking and pondering different things in life and looking at social media and all the stuff, the comments people post about certain things and um
I'm gonna have to start. I don't want to
it's to gather information. I
step into
mean,
that social
stay away
media
from
world.
Twitter. Stay away from Twitter. Whatever you do,
Uh,
Twitter is just
now
no.
I've
Stay away from
crossed
Twitter.
through Twitter a couple
Yeah.
of times, and I've seen naked people on
No,
Twitter.
Twitter get yeah,
I was
dog.
like, oh, you don't have to have a
No,
parental advisory sticker
no,
on this.
Twitter. I think they say they're gonna start doing that, but Twitter gets
Oh yeah,
it's some ignorant shit in Twitter.
yeah, but
It's ignorant.
I just poked my head in the door. I'm
Uh,
like, damn,
oh,
Twitter doing
shit.
it like that.
Oh, let me wash my face. Oh, it's nasty.
Right.
Oh God, I
So
feel so nasty.
I said,
Just feel nasty.
I'm gonna have to get out there a little bit, and just
Mm,
so I can kind of
mm,
keep up with because this stuff going on, just current events
mm,
going on. People are talking about, and it's not like major events. It's
mm.
just things that are in, like I guess, like they call it on Black Twitter
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, what? What are you talking
yeah.
about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like that's why I use Facebook for a lot. Is it's to keep up with trends, stuff people doing, things going on. Even in all the groups I'm in, I just scroll through and try to see what people think, how people operate, right? Just see if it's in line with what I think. I don't want to be too far out the loop, and be somewhere in the clouds and thinking people are a certain type of person. Oh no, this don't happen, and then get shocked one day,
I
So
got you. Now let me ask you this:
mm,
when you are part of several groups,
mm.
do you just jump in there and interact? Like if you see something that you think is crazy, do you jump in there
Yeah,
and
I put my little knowledge in every once in a while. I say some stuff just to
right?
try to get understanding. Like, why would you think this way, or who,
That's
think like how people think.
mm,
That's my whole thing. I try to figure out the how people think and why they think this.
I got to work on that. It's to me it's so hard to get your point across through text
Mm,
because people, well, I guess there's some context there,
mm,
but they don't know where you're coming from. They
mm.
can't see your face. They can't
Yeah.
see what you mean by it. They, like I said, everybody is so easily offended these
Oh
days.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It don't take much. You say the wrong word, and you're like, well, that's not how I meant that. But
And the thing is, they know sometimes but people want to be difficult. People want to be offended. I think
yeah, everybody wants to be offended for
Mm.
some reason. I'm trying to,
it brings attention to them.
but my thing is, I've always said I can't offend anybody. You have
Mm.
to choose to be offended.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can't. What I'm saying,
And if they don't know you, how you gonna offend? I don't know
hey,
you. I don't,
hey,
do I know anything about you? So
yeah,
how am I gonna offend you?
why would I intend to offend you? If you're
Mm,
offended by what I said, you ask yourself why. Don't
mm.
don't look at me
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
running my mouth
yeah,
or doing whatever. I don't know if it's an action or
yeah,
some words
yeah,
used or whatever,
yeah.
but
I mean, you have to know somebody and something about somebody in order to get to that point. Well, for me to get to that point, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
because then you can get personal and
yeah.
you can choose. You can make a personal attack, and
Hmm.
it's not even being offensive at that point. It's about attacking somebody.
Hmm.
You trying to you trying to stick them where it
And
hurt.
that's where you could say bashing comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Then
you know
because you
something.
got something on them, and you oh really just you want to talk about this, Willie? You want to
Mhm.
you want
Let's go then.
you want to go there? But
But your mama.
right, just complete strangers. I'm
Uh,
like, okay, well, if you say so, but nah. I was just curious. I'm ignorant to the whole social
Mhm.
media platform.
It takes up a lot of time. But like I
Oh
said,
yeah, I see it.
I'm up a lot doing stuff, and I'm majority of the time I might be watching movies, and this my hey, I'm just scrolling, looking at the movie. I multitask the shit out of myself, and I don't know why I do that, but
Oh
it's
man.
just
So can you
it's crazy.
sleep at night?
Not really,
I
no.
just, I just,
Uh,
this is a little
Up and
sidebar
down, up
because
and
I
down.
just realized I can't do. It's a couple things I realized I can't do. I can't do any banking at night,
Hmm.
and I can't do. It's something else. But if I do any of those things, it's like it automatically wakes my body up, and I'm up
Oh yeah, yeah,
for the next couple
because you
hours.
have to be alert. You have
And
to
I'm
be
like,
alert to do that shit.
damn.
Yeah.
But I finally caught on to that trend. I was like, I've probably been doing it to myself for
Mm,
forever, didn't realize it.
mm,
No, I'm like, man, I can't do that at night. I need to,
yeah. No.
need to chill.
What I do, if I go to sleep with something on my mind, whatever it is,
And
some kind of way my mind is processing when I sleep. When I wake up, I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I go right back to what I'm thinking about. It was on my mind. And I'm like, okay, let me figure this out. Let me think. And then if I figure it out, if I do something about it, then yeah, I'll sit there till I'll get ready to go to bed because
Mm,
it's off my mind at that point. But
yeah.
I don't know, I'm crazy. Anyway, back to the husband thing. I think we part of the expectations, that men might have. Like you spoke on it last week about, as far as getting married, you felt that you had to have a certain amount of money,
Hmm.
and that's the provider part of it,
Right.
of
Right.
a man.
Because I was raised by a man,
Mm.
and I just certain things, people, not to cut you off,
No,
but
go ahead.
it's people say stuff. Well, you know how it is getting your lights cut off, or
Hmm.
you know how it is ain't no food in the refrigerator.
Hmm.
I tell people, no, I don't know how that is.
Yeah,
I said my old man made sure we ate. Nothing was ever turned off that that I knew about, that
yeah,
I was aware of. Whenever I
yeah,
hit the switch, it came on. So
yeah.
I'm not. I don't know that,
Mm.
but I know who made that happen,
Hmm.
and so that's how I pattern myself, and that's why I was so hesitant. I got to make sure I can do this. I got to
Mm.
make it wasn't so much that I didn't want to be married. It's just if I'm gonna be married, I got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
I got to be in the right frame of mind.
Mm.
I got to be. I got to have my shit together, man.
Mm.
I can't. I can't be half stepping. But
Yeah.
that was just the example that was provided for me. And like I was blessed.
Mm.
My old man was in the house my entire life,
Hmm.
and I learned a lot from him.
Mm.
So you know,
I think also is that another thing I see of hesitation of men is that the responsibility of having somebody else that you have to. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to care for this person.
mm-hmm,
You have to be there. You have, ups and downs, whatever. We don't know that dating is one thing. You're not totally responsible for this person during dating. There's nothing that kind of gets you ready for that family unit to be in the house with somebody and you
mm-hmm.
wake up and sometimes you might not like her ass, but hey, you can't walk away,
That- but
you know.
but I want people to understand it's okay
Mm.
not to like your mate
Mhm.
from time to time. That's just, I mean, if you spend that much time with any individual,
Mm.
you can like, man, you know what? You get on my nerves when you
Mm.
do this or do that. But I know I'm disliked on a regular
Mm.
basis in my house. but but
It's new.
but I mean that's just part of bringing in two personalities, trying to get them to live in harmony.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
it's at work.
Mm.
It's hard work. So
And like I started looking at it like this, it's like a close family member,
mhm.
brother, sister, whatever. I mean, it's not the same as your brother and
No,
sister,
no,
but it's a close atmosphere to where you're gonna bump heads. You
yeah,
you know you're
yeah.
you're not gonna see eye to eye. You're gonna do whatever, but you choose every day to stay there and deal with this person, and,
Hmm.
and, and it's y'all two. Y'all have to get somewhere.
And try to
Y'all,
work through it.
yeah, yeah, you
And
have
try
to
to
work
get
through it.
to the other side
Mm.
of it because it's not always going to be sunshine. It's not always going to be rain,
Mm.
but you got to work through it. Whatever in front of you, you got to work through it to get to the next day or the next moment or whatever the
Mm.
case may be. Yeah, I mean, because it's so much easier, I guess, for people to like give up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even think it's giving up. It's just I'm going to interject my personal
Yeah, go ahead, go
opinion
ahead, go ahead,
again.
go ahead, go ahead, brother.
When it comes to marriage,
Mm.
that is a man-made thing. I think it's totally against
Mhm.
what's natural.
Mhm.
So to ask a human being to do what's not natural for them,
Mhm.
it takes some work. But
Mhm.
if you can have that understanding on both sides that this is not natural,
Mhm.
let's see how we can make this work. Because
Mhm.
people do it all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, they do it,
Let's see how we can make this work.
and they
You
used
know,
to do it a lot, back in the day.
right? Because it was it was almost it was almost like a production line. This
Mm.
is what happens. You
Yeah.
turn this age, you go out there,
Mm.
you get married, or
Mm.
you go out and find your wife, and then you start your own family,
Mm.
and it just kept on going.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, we got to the point where you don't need a family for a child.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you don't need
What?
you don't need a husband
Yeah.
for a family.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
you just remove the whole
Yeah.
a critical part to the puzzle and say you can still have this puzzle
Mm.
without this part.
Mm.
You got a big hole in the
Yeah.
middle. But we can tell what it's supposed to be. We know that's supposed to be a cake or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We know what this puzzle's supposed to look like.
Yeah. I think a lot of people like today are really looking at life and saying, "Damn, I missed something."
Mm,
Because we went through a certain time, and I don't want to. call out the period because every time I call out the period, it's like I hate women, and I do not hate women. I love women.
Well,
I love
tell,
y'all. I love y'all.
let's say it
Um,
anyway.
no, I love y'all women. But the thing is, it came to a point where women were used for a reason. They were used
Mhm,
by the government. And this, I mean, you can look this up. I mean, anything I say, you scrutinize anything I say, come back, tell me I don't know shit. I'm not. But anyway, I've looked into this because I want to know why. I want to know why are we where we are at right now? Why do we? I mean, even when I was in high school, I wanted to know why.
mhm.
Like I didn't date nobody when I was in high school. Like I waited till I got out of high school because I was trying. Like, well, why are people doing what they doing? It never made sense to me. You know, we're doing this. We're getting the same. We're getting the same results we did from our parents. So why would we do it? We see the issues. Why can't we fix our issues?
Right.
Then when I started dating, then I'm like, okay, I see why they're doing it. This feel good, you know.
This feel right.
Hormones start going or whatever, and then it's a whole different story. But it's I I would like people to take a moment and look around, when they're in something and understand the why of everything. The why am I doing this? Marriage, why I do that? Well, um, there's pros and cons to everything,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a personal thing. What might be a reason for you and the pros and cons for you is not going to be the pros and cons for me. We're built two different ways, and also our partner, whoever we choose to be with, your wife is built a certain way, so it might go, hand in hand with how you're built,
Right.
and might not be for anybody else.
Mhm.
So we've tried to make people fit to where we that's why we need to understand the why. We try to make people fit to be a person for us. Goes back to a long list of things women have, to where I don't think men think about that when they,
Nah.
picking a woman. We don't
Nah.
have those checklists, so to speak. We see a woman, oh, you look good, oh, you fine as hell, girl, and
Right.
and then we go through the process.
But we want to get to know 'em, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We don't really have a list, you
Hmm.
know. We can say what we prefer. Oh, I prefer, her to whatever. But that don't stop us from approaching somebody
Hmm.
outside of that. And
Yeah.
then if we once we get to know them, like, oh, and then if she, appears to be wife material, then
Mm.
you spend some time with her.
Yeah.
You may
Spend some more time with her. Yeah.
right, you may
Yeah.
ask her to be your
Mm.
wife. But
Mm.
I don't think for the most part, I don't know any men who go out looking for a wife.
Mm.
They just go out to meet women, which is what men do
Mm.
just naturally. You bring the sexes together.
Mm.
Men go automatically. And when I say pray,
Selection.
when
Yeah.
I say pray, I don't mean as in the predatory manner. I mean that
Mm.
they're gonna let nature take its course, and they're
uh,
gonna start to pursue women.
mm.
Maybe I should
Mm.
use pursue
Yeah.
pursue instead of pray,
Mm.
but that's just natural, and
Mm.
they find they actually try to get to know the woman versus having all these this checklist of what the
Mm.
woman should have before they
Mm.
decide they would deal with them,
Mm.
and I think that's where a lot of women just fall. They just kind of they take themselves out of the game
Mm.
because they can't be that checklist can't be met by anybody.
Mm.
Maybe a couple people, but those jokers already
They
married to
they probably
somebody.
already have somebody.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
married.
Yeah. More
Somebody
than
already
likely.
looked up and got
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But I like when you said you have to be able to answer that why,
Mm.
because that's a real statement. Whenever you and that's whatever you're doing, if you can't answer the why,
Mm.
then you're not gonna be successful in that.
Yeah.
And when I say you're not gonna be successful, I don't mean you won't do it. It's just it won't have the outcomes you're looking
Yeah. It
for.
won't have the positive
Yeah,
outcome
it
you
won't
you're
have the
looking for.
outcome you're looking for.
And the outcome being that majority of women want is marriage. I mean,
Mm,
and I think, and I'm not gonna say majority of men. I don't think majority of men want marriage, but I think if I think they'll be open to it.
you took the words out of my
I
mouth.
think they would be open to marriage if um it was the right situation
It's the
because
right woman, the right
it's
yeah.
it's a big it's a big thing they're taking on.
Yeah,
Mm.
especially now because
Mm.
it's no longer about just you and the woman.
Mm.
You you're it's a contract with the state
Mhm.
government.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out, you you take a loss in
Yeah.
most
Yeah. Big L.
situations. you,
Big L.
you take a loss.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's more to think about. Once you start getting outside influences involved, it's a lot more things that go through your mind before you decide to ask a woman to be your wife. So that's
So that point right there, I think, is the other reason, right? We talked about have enough money. We
Hmm.
talked about feeling like you have a big responsibility, like maybe you're
Technology.
not ready to
Hmm.
take on this big responsibility because it is something major. It's nothing to take light of. You having
Hmm.
other people lives in your hands basically. And another part of it is the L part of it, taking the L. Um
No man likes to. No
yeah, oh,
man
no,
worth competing likes to
I
lose.
don't know. That's a if in the game of love, I don't want to be a loser. I
I don't
don't,
want to lose.
I mean, and that's why I think most men do not file for divorce. Also,
Mm-mm.
majority of women file for divorce.
Men are in it. They're
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
This we gonna make this work. We gonna
Mm.
figure this. And not to say that the man is
He's not gonna be 100% right in it.
absent
Yeah, yeah.
of flaws.
Hmm.
I'm just saying they are still, regardless of whatever happened, they still willing to try to make that
Hmm.
work.
I think it's a pride thing with that.
I'm
Also,
sure it is.
yeah.
Like I said, all the men I know that I hang around with, they competitive. They
Hmm.
compete,
Hmm.
and it is not so much they competing against anybody else. They competing against themselves.
Yeah,
I can make this work.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
men.
Hmm.
I can fix this.
Yeah.
Because we look at it in a practical standpoint more so than a emotional thing.
Mm.
And emotions, I guess.
It matters, but to men it doesn't because it's not tangible because it's
Right.
something physical you put your hand on.
Hmm.
Um, we miss out on that aspect of it. Um, Let me get back on I'll get back on emotions later because I was gonna go to something we talked about last week with
Okay.
the females we had on last week. But before I get to that, stay on the topic of the whole thing about losing.
Hmm.
Um, I think, and this is maybe just me being because I think too much, right? This might be me just in my mind thinking too much, oversimplifying stuff, right?
Okay.
But I think if women wanted to get married, if they want this outcome, right, let's take the L portion kind of out of it.
Hmm.
Let's just make it prenups. Let's just okay, well, yeah, we can do prenups. If that became almost a standard thing, I think more men would be like, you know what?
They'll be willing to do it. They definitely.
Yeah,
The Because like I said, because now once you marry, the state gets to determine who gets
yeah,
what.
yeah,
It's not about who came into. It's the state. Like, all right,
yeah.
this is
Your
what we
future's
see.
somebody's hands.
Yeah, somebody else's hands. So I think so too. If but you say that, and then I think a lot of women get offended by
No,
the
oh, they will. That's what I said. I mean, that's my. Oh, somebody just went off. I mean, we had five. Now we got four. Somebody signed off on that one. Like this nigga full of
How dare you
shit.
say
I,
prenup?
he done lost me. I
Yeah.
gave him a chance. I gave him a chance. He lost me.
Oh man.
But I mean, I'm a solution based person.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I try to understand the why, and if you understand the why, then you can come with different ways to to make that possible
Mhm.
to beat the odds, but so to speak. And that's all I'm looking at. I would like, and another person just signed off.
Oh man.
I didn't say it some
We
shit.
were just playing about the prenup, guys.
I wasn't playing shit.
Yeah,
I
nah.
mean, we need a solution. We need a solution. Somebody needs to, we need to come up with a solution. If we want to make marriages successful, we want to have more marriages. We have to do something. We
What-
can't just expect it to be throw this up in the air and it's going to fix
I
itself.
think we have to be realistic.
Mm,
I think a lot of people's. I, I'm one of them. A lot of people's idea of marriage is one thing, and their marriage is something completely
mm,
different. It's really more of a partnership. It's
mm,
almost like a
mm,
business,
mm.
almost.
Yeah, I know it is. It's
Uh,
paperwork.
yeah. So, and once you understand that, and you can kind of navigate a little bit better. But as long as you get your idea of marriage from one of those romance
Hmm.
novels or some shit you see on
Tyler
TV,
Perry movies and
yeah,
yeah.
then you're gonna be disappointed because you're gonna have days like those. You may have a day or two like that that's in that novel or that's in that movie, but that's not gonna be that's not gonna be 365.
Hmm.
It's gonna be just regular. Come home, eat, kiss your wife, kick the dog, you
Hmm.
kick
Hmm.
your wife,
Hmm.
kiss the
Yeah,
dog,
whichever one.
whichever one works in your house. I don't know how y'all do it, but yeah, you do that, man, and that's a large portion of your year.
Mm,
But it's gonna be good days, but it's gonna be bad
yeah.
days in there as well.
Mm. And the thing is, for men, I mean, for women, it might be emotionally pressing.
Mm.
It's going to hit women more emotionally. If something happens in that marriage or to that marriage, it's going to hit the woman emotionally. But what they don't look at is going to hit the man twice.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna hit them. I mean, on the wrong situation. Not saying every situation. If you ain't got shit, then you can't lose shit. They got men that don't have a damn thing. And they, it's only married for love, or whatever, and they're not losing anything out of the situation. But for a man that is uh, doing what he's supposed to do, giving his all to this marriage, and just in some reason, it doesn't work out. Shit don't work out sometimes.
Right.
This man will be losing twice, and I think that's something that like everybody goes to the worst case scenario.
Mhm.
Like men go to that for that reason. Women go to the worst case scenario when dealing with starting to date men or whatever before it gets to marriage. They go to the worst case scenario for everything. When you start talking marriage or whatever, and they just thinking the thought of it, and a man says submission, that's what I was about to start talking about.
Okay.
So submission, then they go to the worst case scenario about that, or and no, I need to see this first, because in their mind, they're trying to protect themselves. It's all about self-preservation at that point. And I think the same thing with men when it comes to marriage. It's more about self-preservation,
Oh yeah.
meaning that
I
I
think
don't want to be somewhere fucked up with my feelings messed up, and then I'm light in my pockets also.
then I'm broke
Yeah,
too.
and I'm broke too.
But yeah,
Pick a struggle.
I think that's the natural human instinct is self preservation,
Mm,
man or women. So
mm,
you automatically get kind of you get kind of squirrely, like they say when you start thinking about how is this going to affect me
mm,
if it doesn't work.
mhm.
Um, but I'm glad you brought up submission. What is why is that such a dirty word?
It's frowned upon. I mean, every time I see it brought up, they come out the woodwork. Man, people ain't never commented before, come out the woodworks talking about he got to do this, and it's just they don't understand it. We've bastardized that word. We've made
We
it a
have,
dirty thing.
and it's very in my. I'm gonna give you a. It's not is for me. It's nothing more than understanding the fact that you trust me
To make moves.
to, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then when I say that, you don't need to question me on every single thing I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it's a big thing, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
But that's
if it's
that's it.
something major. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's nothing more than you trust that I have your best interest at heart for the
Mm-hmm.
most
Mm-hmm.
part. And but I guess the way it's written in the dictionary says something different. It says like you get the beat on them and
Hey, let's look this shit up because I did not. I never looked it
they have
up
to
to the
be
fact of
barefooted and
knowing.
pregnant.
Yeah,
They have to,
hold on. Let's look up submission so we could
I mean, I
have
heard
some
of
context.
beating your opponent into
Oh no,
like
they
MMA match.
they in the octagon.
Right, they look at it as an MMA. Like, yeah,
No, we're not trying to beat women. This is not the way to
a real
go.
naked choke.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it has a very bad connotation.
Mm. And the thing is, the other reason why I think women have a problem with it is because they don't see how it
Benefits them.
they don't see how it affects men, like how
Oh,
men would submit to women. They don't see the other side of it, and I don't think I don't. The reason why just go off, mother. Yeah, I don't. And maybe my computer don't want to
yeah.
look up submission. Like you
Computer don't
looking
want to
up,
submit.
you look up nasty stuff. That's a
Look
dirty
looking
word.
up these bad
These
words.
bad damn word. Let me close this
The
out.
internet don't, Google don't allow certain words, and submission is one of them, man.
Look at this. I'm trying to look up some dirty stuff.
Go to
Um,
Facebook and look it up. You'll be kicked out.
yeah.
30 days probation.
Yeah, exactly. They'll put me in
Hey,
jail,
look,
Facebook jail.
why you looking this up? What you think about the whole GameStop chaos that's
Oh
taking
man,
place?
that mess right there, is crazy because you can't if it's a free market, you can't tell who to do what. It's a free market. Why are you going
See,
to get mad at poor people and black people from doing stuff y'all been doing? That's craziness.
I think it's crazy, but when these different trading platforms would not allow their customers access to purchase certain stocks, I think they overstepped
They
just then.
overstep their boundaries.
They've been habitual then, and they have the right because it's their platform to do
Hmm.
that. But they kind of showed their cards when they did that.
Yeah, yeah. How can you expect anybody to trust this process now
Right.
that you didn't put caps on it and
Well,
said no, we're not going to do this?
it's okay for them, but
Mhm.
not for you. So that's I think that's gonna be a unifying thing, man, because it's like it's just picking up steam. It's interesting.
So this might be the reason why they got a problem.
Okay, let's hear
Okay.
what Google has as a dictionary definition.
Accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. That's the problem.
I mean, but that's not that far off though.
Okay, so okay, so and this is my okay to someone so that okay submit to someone so that it's considered or approved to stop trying to fight or resist something. That's my part of
Thank
it.
you,
That's what I look at it as
thank you.
to agree or to do or accept something that you have been resisting or opposing. That's the definition that I uses for
Even
submission.
the first one wasn't. I mean, they used some
But it
words
is
that is cite
yeah,
a superior
yeah,
force.
yeah. That that's some
You know,
strong words though.
yield. There's nothing wrong with yielding to
Yield,
somebody's
yield to the power.
superior efforts or superior.
Because you got a penis, that means I got to yield to it. You
Yeah,
want this damn? You
if you want it,
want to go ahead and yield? No, but seriously, I mean, I think the reason why is because women don't understand how men could submit to women,
Mhm.
and that's the whole thing. Like they don't, they get triggered when they hear that, and then they feel that men don't do it. So I'm gonna talk about and this. I was gonna probably get into this, but since we're going now, I'm not gonna get into it Wednesday.
No,
Um,
don't, nah, say,
no, 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 no. Oh, well, I might get into it also. So this is the way, and we're talking about husbands anyway. So yeah, this is
okay,
part of it. The way your husband submits to you, right? um Men natural state is not somewhere in emotion. We're not no place majority men, right? The men you want, not even, we're not even gonna say majority because I can't even say that no more.
right,
I'm not even gonna do that. The men that you would like, right? If you want a masculine man, you don't want a feminine man. The man you want is not going to be somewhere in his emotions, his feelings all the time, right?
right.
So the way a man submits to a woman is because he considers your emotions. He goes there when he never does it with himself, but because he loves you and you're his woman, he submits his emotional whatever, his emotions to you.
Mhm.
He does stuff that he wouldn't usually do for himself. Most men just need a toothbrush, drawers, and
Right,
change of clothes,
right.
and point me in the right direction of the world, and we're gonna go try to get
You
it.
don't need. I don't
Most
even
men.
need to change the clothes. You give me the drawers and the toothbrush, man. I'm on them. But yeah, that the the fact that, like you said, you take that time out to try to not necessarily understand, but you try to be compassionate about
Hmm.
it, doing it. Not, I don't even want to use compassionate to it because how can you? I mean, other than understanding that somebody's going through something
Hmm.
emotional, you can't really be compassionate like that because you it's not your emotion.
Yeah,
You see something's not right,
yeah.
and you try to understand it, but that's really all you can do is acknowledge it. I
Hmm.
guess you could say.
But that extra step, I think, I mean, you could acknowledge anybody, but that extra step is the love portion of it.
Hmm.
Submitting because you love somebody.
Right,
You have this feeling, this strong feeling towards somebody, to where I don't want this person to go through whatever.
right.
I want to try to protect them as much as possible, and
I know that feeling very well.
so that's the man submitting to you. Women don't get that. They don't understand that part of it because it comes easy to them. It's so easy. They don't value that part when it comes out of man because they feel a man is supposed to do that.
Right,
Like, oh, he's supposed to be,
because she
his
does it.
emotions, whatever,
Hmm.
because that's something that she doesn't think, you know, she doesn't give a second thought to. So, and the thing about women submitting to men, I think it would be just the opposite, but not on the feelings, emotional part of it. It would be like trusting, like you said, trusting the man to where his logical decision making
It's going.
is logic now, is logic. His decision making is something that you trust him to do without your input at some time. Like you said, when it's something major, then yes. Yeah, let's because it's a major shit. This is a major purchase. We talk about a house. Yeah, this major. Let's talk about this.
Absolutely. Who go
Which
out and buy a house
yeah,
without their wife and it's like, hey, yeah, baby, here you go. I mean, and it's probably some people who do it,
yeah, yeah.
but but I can see why
A
somebody
nigga
would
like me
be
would.
upset. You do.
A nigga like
Well, there you go.
I'm always doing something. Anyway, but that's the problem. Probably, yeah.
No, I mean,
My woman would have with me.
I mean, shit, you round about the house,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
but hey, you know what you're doing. Hey,
yeah.
look, I trust that you know what you're doing in in your situation.
But it's see the emotional part of a woman
Right.
is like, okay, no, I need to, now I can't let go. It's the whole thing. I've been doing this all my life. I've been doing this. I've been having a hand in everything, and this is this, and they don't understand. The problem is that a real man, doesn't need that hands on all the time.
not
It,
the
that
majority of the
nagging, it
time.
becomes nagging.
That's exactly what it
That's what it becomes.
and that's not. I don't think for the most some women just like to nag, but for the
Mm.
most part, I don't think that's the woman's intent
No, I don't
to
think
be
so either.
a nag. But
Mm,
that's how it comes off
mm,
to the man,
mm,
to the husband as a nag,
mm,
or like you was saying about I don't need to discuss everything, every single decision with you
mm,
unless it's a major thing,
mm,
or when I do something, the constant questioning about it.
mm. It
Trust me,
yeah.
I've
If you
done
don't trust me, then why am I here?
right.
What am I? What are we doing?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
But like you said, it comes off as being nagging when
Mm,
and I don't think that's the intent. But it doesn't matter what your intent is.
mm,
It's the end result.
mm-hmm,
How's this rubbing me now? It's
mm-hmm.
rubbing me like okay, you nagging. So
And
yeah,
because women like, they want communication. They want,
so we taking it one way. They
yeah,
mean
yeah,
it a
yeah,
different way,
yeah.
but it turns out bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
You need to communicate with me. It was like, okay, I just went and got some tissue, man. I want the 2-ply, I want the 3-ply, I want the big jumbo roll. You said we shouldn't get the jumbo roll. You said 2-ply and the double roll is just enough, but I want the more tissue to wipe my hands. I'm trying to,
right.
I could afford it, but you didn't check with me, you
Yeah,
know.
we living like that, you
Mm,
know what I'm saying? We can
mm,
get the fluffy stuff,
mm.
man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of that is the disconnect, um, because women get together and they talk about these things, and okay, so I'm gonna get off. Just ladies, I'm gonna do this just a little bit.
There you
I mean,
go.
just you get these women in these little pockets, right? And then they bouncing back and forth, talking about back and forth, but none of them in there married. Not one.
I
Not
know.
one is married. But they're telling you what they would do, and a man can't, and if I was married, no, but you're not.
And you never
You're
had
not.
the opportunity to do that because
Yeah.
you know that's
S-
hey
So they poison it for the other women that might be in a position where they could get married,
because they
and
they they trying to do something. They using the example from somebody who's not.
yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, this this
to me
this sex war has been going on too long for me. It's like it's crazy. If
that's
you want something, go and get it.
go get it. Figure out what it takes to get it, and
Yeah,
then go get it.
and what it takes to keep it going.
Yeah,
You got to get it first, and you got to what it takes to keep it going.
be available. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's just that simple. Be available.
hey, it's you can't get no simpler than that, man. But I thought that was funny that it's a strange thing, and I experience in the black community that we always go to somebody who's never done it before to
Hmm.
get advice for
Hmm.
how to do something. Never understood that all my days, but I mean, you get a joker who works at McDonald's tell you how to fly an airplane.
Hmm.
I'm like, how the hell you know how to fly? Oh man, it's easy. And they tell you it's easy too. Never flew an airplane in their life. You're like, come
Say
on,
with
bro.
conviction.
Yeah, but they make you believe that they can fly an airplane because they telling you like that. So it's funny, but yeah, that's a great example. Women talking around giving advice about what they'll do in a marriage situation
Mm.
who's never been married.
And then okay, so we're gonna talk about men because women we're not bashing you. We're gonna talk about
No,
men.
we're just bringing up
Men don't even talk about the shit. So we don't even talk about the marriage thing. When we get together in pockets, we sports, we don't even talk about it. So it's not even our thought process until we're ready for it. Then it becomes maybe in your small circle, you might say, man, I'm really thinking about, man, this is the girl for me. I really think she's the girl for me. And
I'm trying to
we
think.
we
I may have told two people
mm-hmm,
before I got married,
mm-hmm,
and I'm trying to think if I even told my dad.
mm-hmm,
Well, I'd say if I told him, of course, before I got married,
mm-hmm,
but before I proposed, I don't
mm-hmm.
even think I told my dad.
Before you propose.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know, because I just didn't,
Yeah,
'cause like I said,
I'm a man. Damn, I'm a
right.
man.
I don't need to talk to
Who else gonna pay for this shit but me?
right. But I shared it with a couple dudes,
Mm,
but that was it, man. But it wasn't for no approval, and then I
mm,
was just like, yeah, I think scared to go down, or
yeah.
whatever the
You
case may
probably was
be.
thinking it at the time, and it just
Right, and it
came
came
out
out
while y'all was
in
drinking and
conversation.
shit. Usually,
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, let me call her. No, it wasn't anything like that.
mm,
But I know, as far as a woman, if she getting married, she calling everybody
yeah, oh yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, everybody.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I didn't have. Well, we didn't.
Yeah,
Nobody
we
had
didn't have
Facebook
social
then,
media.
but everybody know about it now. But
Yeah, and I think women look at that also as a oh, well, it's nothing to him because he didn't tell. It's just men are
we
more,
deal with it
yeah,
differently.
men are more laid back and stoic about what they do. You know,
Stoic. I like
yeah,
that word.
they're more stoic about what they do. They don't, and that's why I have an issue with, my lady. She just I can't read you.
You don't need
I
to.
can't read you. Like, I never know, you don't show no kind of emotion. Oh, okay, well, life is what life is. This is my part of this is why I'm crazy. This is how I think, right? Life is what life is. Everybody goes the same thing at a certain point of time in their life.
Mhm.
Why am I getting overexcited about stuff that I know people have went through and been through it and got
Or
past it or whatever?
or maybe it just don't excite you. How about that?
Mm,
Maybe it's not
mm,
even
mm,
it's sight worthy. Is
mm.
that even proper English? But I
Excuse me,
don't
man,
know.
whatever. Well,
But um, I've been told that several times. But I also, my response to that is I don't fake emotion.
yeah, I can't do it. I
You know,
can't do it.
and it's something as simple as taking a picture.
Mm,
Smile. Why am I smiling? Now, if I'm happy or I'm
yeah,
laughing, I smile.
being
But
smart.
just
Yeah,
smile because I done
because
seen
you
the
pull a kid.
pictures
Yeah, pull a picture
because
out.
you pull the camera out, smile, people smile, and they go back to arguing. When with the
Yeah.
camera, that's just something I have no desire to pretend to
Mm,
be something even for a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Especially when you talk about emotions,
Yeah.
to pretend to be happy for, and I could be content and happy, but that don't mean I have to be smiling.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
it doesn't mean that you mad or they all like you always look serious. Oh, okay, well,
well, I'm a serious motherfucker.
yeah, yeah,
Can we say
yeah.
motherfucker?
You can say
Okay.
motherfucker. Yeah.
But yeah, but my dad is people. Man, your dad look mean.
Mm,
I'm like, and I thought he was mean,
mm,
but he also has another side
yeah,
to him. But that's just the way he looks, though.
mm, yeah.
That has nothing to do with how he actually feeling. You talk to him, he might start laughing and crack a
And
joke.
crack a joke. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My father the same way. It's
but
like
but if you just see him at a far, oh
mm,
man,
I ain't messing with him.
I ain't
Yeah,
fucking with that dude,
yeah.
man. Yeah, but people have always told me that.
And I think that's part of being a man. Also, like you go through life and you understand what life is. You understand that uh life is complicated. So most of the time, your mind is somewhere else
You
thinking
think
about
you
yeah,
you're thinking,
yeah,
and it's not necessarily about try to finish the internet. I like to say
yeah.
that
Finish the
or trying to create nuclear fission or
Uh-huh.
fusion. But it's just it might just be about what I'm gonna do.
Mm,
How I'm gonna approach tomorrow or how I'm
mm,
gonna approach this evening. I
mm,
got to do this,
mm,
and so you're just contemplating, but you're not in a mood either way.
mm,
You just you just thinking. You just
mm,
being thoughtful. You like
mm.
okay, let me. But I think a lot of times people want to be entertained.
Yeah. Oh
What
yeah.
about
Oh
you?
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm here
Hey,
for.
hey,
I'm not your
hey, I have
entertainment.
females. I have females. Just you're boring. Okay, motherfucker, I'm not here for your entertainment. Who do I look like?
And
Shit.
and to me, if they say you're born, that what does that mean about them?
Yeah. That. I mean, hey, I need something to bounce.
Right.
Hey, we need to be bouncing off
So
each other.
why why are you here
Mm,
being bored? That
mm,
means what are you then? If I'm born, then you got to be
you
worse
really
than
really boring.
right. You worse than
Mm.
bored. That's funny.
But yeah, we get yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, but I think we need to start once again. That's why I'm reaching out over on the women's side of it to talk to the females. I'm gonna try something. Um,
You want
eh,
to try to get some married women on here again next week?
nah, I tried it. Unless you got that you wanna.
uh,
Okay,
well, I'll
no.
tell you what.
Okay,
If
what?
if I find some, I'll let you know
Okay,
early enough
let me
to
know during the week, at
like I
least
said
by
early
Wednesday.
early enough so we
Um,
can do that. Don't be flaking out, married women, because I know quite a few married
uh,
women. So don't be flaking out.
yeah,
If y'all
you
say y'all
because
gonna do something,
it
y'all
it
gonna
didn't
do it.
work for me. Maybe in your circle or whatever. They might. Yeah. Um, I got a comment. This is true statement, and I'm going to try to understand what the comment is from because it's a lag. So I'm sorry. This is a true statement with some men, but trust me, it ain't all. Sometimes men are guarded and just not really open. The right woman can always crack the safe, though. And I
How
agree. I agree with
you
that.
think so?
I agree. Yeah, no, I mean,
You
if
think?
they're guarded, I think that
Oh,
it depends on why they're guarded. Also,
I'm
yeah,
asking what you agree on. When
yeah,
she said the right woman can crack that safe, that's
y-
where I was like, that's I don't know about that. I don't think it's up to the woman to crack that safe. It's up
um,
to the man how he feels about her.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
But
that's
no,
kind
that's
of
the
the
same.
same
Yeah, that's the
thing.
same thing. Yeah, and that's
Okay.
why I took it at. It depends
Okay.
on how he feels about that woman. Um,
But
but she would know. Like
that was
she
it,
can't say
it's no
she's the right
part.
woman.
It's nothing
Yeah,
she's doing
yeah,
that make it
yeah,
that allows
yeah,
her to crack the safe.
yeah,
It's because what he sees in her is
yeah,
why the safe is open. But
yeah.
I don't think men are guarded. It's just. I who wants to hear about your troubles? You
Yeah,
know.
and I get that. See, and that's what I like. Women try to pull stuff out of me, and it's like this is life. I mean,
Right.
I don't feel the need to talk about
I could
every problem.
I could complain about something every
Yeah,
day if I wanted to.
yeah,
You know, but I mean, it's frivolous for the most part. If it ain't, if I can still get up and go and do what I need to do,
mm,
then it just happens.
yeah. That's okay. She said that's it. It's about the connection. Um, it's about connection with the person. That's it. That's all. Has nothing to do with troubles. True, true. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, it's like life is life. I look at things like okay, yeah, connections happen naturally and it ain't forced. Correct. Life is life. I don't look at my life in the aspect of like something ain't supposed to happen to me. I don't look at it like, life is life.
It is.
Um
I had to learn that. I say I had to learn that. I mean, I kind of knew that,
mhm,
but like around 2007, 2008, I went
mhm,
through all kind of stuff, and
mhm,
I didn't get fed up. I didn't get mad. I just realized this is how it's go. This is how it goes, man. This you gonna have ups and downs in life, and then whatever the worst thing you think, or not, I'm not gonna say the worst, but if you think something will happen, it will happen.
mhm,
I mean, that's just life. Things are gonna happen. It's all about how you respond to them.
mhm,
It's really how your life is determined. How you
mhm,
respond to adversity or
mhm,
even the good shit.
mhm,
And I was like, after that point, I was just like, you know what,
mhm.
shit gonna happen. So you might as well get used to it. Just expect the shit to happen, and then just keep it moving.
I think that's also another component of marriage, right? And the trusting of you as being a man. Majority times, and I'm not gonna say all the time, um, because we have different aspects. Lines are so damn blurred now when it comes to gender roles and everything. Or I'm not even gonna say man. Let's say masculine energy, feminine energy. So majority of the time, that masculine energy, be it whoever, man, woman, whatever. Um, the masculine energy is going to be the energy that's going to be more of the calming energy, more of the let's stop, and let's look at this problem, and figure it out
Let's be logical.
from a logical standpoint. Where the feminine energy is going to be the one to want to react to something.
The energy, that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
yeah,
energy, the
yeah. They're
actions.
the action of something, and I think part of that submission that women don't get, or men or whoever,
Hmm.
just the feminine energy of it doesn't understand that whole that whole part of submission is understanding that other energy that's not your own energy, you can trust that other energy to make whatever decisions or to help you get through and navigate through wherever the problem is.
Right.
That's part of submission. um I, like I said, I'm on social media all the time, so I see all kind of shit. Well, he gotta, he don't have make enough money for me to submit. That has nothing to do with the money level. It has nothing to do with kind of money this person makes, be it man or woman. Like I said, masculine energy. It has nothing to do with the money they make. It has everything to do with the fact of you looking at their life and you understand that their life is not in shambles without you.
Who?
If you could look at their life and see that, oh, this person's okay without me.
Hmm.
Okay, I can trust that person.
Right. He can handle life.
He can handle life.
Yeah. What's what's the going rate on money? How much money you got to make these days?
Oh, how does it? Oh, well, the person we okay. So we've heard. I mean, we've heard. We've been watching the same person. So we heard
Right.
it's six figures.
Wow.
It's 150 to under 150 on up to some shut the hell up. I'm gonna shut the hell up if he makes six figures and he taking care of all the bills. We done heard that
But
already.
see,
So
and that's why I say you don't. Women are not. You don't turn it on and off. Either you
mm-mm,
a submissive woman or you're
mm,
not. You can say you'll
mm,
shut up for $150,000 a year
mm,
from a dude,
mm.
but let that one thing happen,
Oh
whatever
yeah,
that
they're
thing
gonna go
is,
out.
and the submission is gone.
It's out the
It's
window.
because you chose to submit
Mm,
versus just being submissive, and then you just naturally fall into place,
mm,
with that man. But when you say, "Oh well, he makes enough," I guess I can follow his lead.
mm,
As soon as something don't go the way you want it to, then you feel like it's time for you to, put your belt on, pull your pants up, and
or
take over.
ain't no amount of money shut me up. I make my own.
So, that's awfully manly. I mean,
But even on the man side, right? On the man side, right? With him, it's like let's say, okay, let's turn this. Let's take this other way, right? And this how logic go. If I'm looking at it from a woman's standpoint, yeah, I'm not gonna submit unless he does X, Y, Z. Okay,
Right.
unless he does this, I'm not gonna do that. So let's say this from another aspect, which this is how you should think, ladies. Um, if this man says, "Oh well, she's feminine, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna be masculine."
Right. He can't do that.
If it's just she's feminine, right? She's the feminine house and she's turning it on, right? Um, so now I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna step up and do whatever. As soon as she stopped being feminine, if I see a masculine trait, I'm gonna be a little bitch.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna act like a female.
and I'm gonna say this: the more feminine a woman act, it does cause you to be more masculine. I won't even, but it's not because you are
No, no, no.
turning.
Your comments are your comments. No, I'm not. No, it's not one sided. Um, no, no, no. They're not being taken. We're making light of certain things. They're not taken out of context. Yeah, we're making light of it. It's not serious. No, we're not taking it serious. We understood what you said, and I've heard that said before, but we're pointing out the way men think about certain things and how it looks from a man's
We
standpoint
talking
when
about from
y'all
a
say certain
man's
things.
point of.
When y'all say certain things. So
Yeah.
that's what we're pointing out the contrast. That's all we're doing.
I
And
thought
we're making light of it.
I thought you were responding to me. You're like, no.
No.
I'm like, what are you?
No,
I was
I
just
didn't I
reading.
didn't went crazy. Yeah.
I'm like, what you reading on? But yeah, pretty much. If a woman is more feminine, if you're a
Mm,
masculine man, it will make you more masculine.
mm,
But you can't come from a feminine man to a masculine man
mm.
because a woman's being feminine. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's not a switch. But
Yeah.
I do think a
Mm,
woman can increase your
mm.
masculinity by being feminine,
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
and vice versa.
Hmm. Yeah.
Woman's femininity will increase the more masculine you are. They see that you in charge. They see that you
Mm,
won't lead them astray.
mm. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah, I mean, and it's like she pointed out, submission is mutual. Um,
It is, but and
it's a
and that's the
mutual
thing.
thing.
We never said women should only submit to men, and that's
No, no,
that's
no,
the
no,
end of it.
no,
That was never said.
no. But yeah, I mean, and that's I think that's the way it's taken a lot of times, and I
Hmm.
think it's a sore topic. I think it's for women because where women come from when they didn't have a voice. That's what I think it is. But I don't remember. It was this podcast I'm doing too much, or my sister podcast. Anyway, um, I had a whole long ass like dialogue with this female, and she said something, and I'm like, okay, what reality you living in? She was like, well, we have a black woman in the White House now. She's vice president now. Our voice is gonna be heard. When have your voice not been heard?
Yeah,
I don't understand
and
it.
she's not technically black either, but I just want to put
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out
Well,
there.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. She's black, but she's not
She's not.
an ancestor of slavery.
See,
She's not that
y'all
black.
finna trigger
Yeah, yeah,
whoever.
yeah.
She's a Barack Obama black. His
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
was African.
yeah.
And
None,
his
none of
mama.
them. Yeah,
None of them are like
none of them are actually true
black
African
Americans.
Americans. They're
Yeah,
not true African Americans
yeah.
because they're not products of slavery. So let's see what Heidi said. I think submission.
Preach. What Heidi say?
I think submission happens naturally when a man is able to demonstrate on the primal level
I agree,
that he
Heidi.
is able to hold a control position. For women who submit, some women will never submit.
I agree, Heidi.
Okay,
And
someone,
that's
and that's true.
and
I mean, that's true.
that's kind of
That's true.
what I was saying, that the more masculine a man is, a woman will become more feminine automatically. But it's not a switch that you turn it on and off. It's just she recognizes it. She recognizes the masculinity in the man, and it just happens naturally. It's not a I think I'll submit to this guy. They don't question it. They don't
Mm-hmm.
ask themselves the question.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go home and ponder on it. It
Yeah,
just happens
it
naturally
just happens. Yeah,
in that situation. And like she said, some women would never submit.
yeah, and that's the thing that we females like that will never submit, right? You know who you are. It's I can't tell you. We what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Men don't know, right? If I see a woman and to me you're a beautiful woman, you have everything that I think you have in order to be a wife. That's only from me perceiving who you are outside looking in, until I deal with you a certain period of time. Now, I for different people, it's going to be different time frames. But after a certain period of time, I start dealing with you, and then I see that look, this ain't
This ain't what
this ain't. she's not willing to or capable
or
of trusting me to be the man of the situation.
it's a
Everything I do, it's almost
it's a
like,
power
yeah, it's
struggle.
a power struggle. Exactly. Thank you. It's a power
It
struggle.
shouldn't be that.
So if that's the case, once again, this is the way women always say, well, how do I know? Okay, look at his life. Look at his life prior to him being with you. Look at his life throughout when before he even it even became serious, right? Did he need you for anything? Did he
Right.
need you to take care of him? Did he need you to what? If he didn't need you, he
But
was doing well on his own,
ahead of time, why
you know.
why would you feel like? But I think a lot of times because women are so accomplished that
Mm,
they take on all those traits that they want in a man,
mm,
so they automatically start all projecting those things
mm,
off. So
mm. No, and yeah, and like I
and they,
said, we in the beginning, if you just joined in the beginning, I said earlier, like I applaud women for doing things. I applaud y'all for doing it. Y'all do what y'all have to do. Single mothers, everything. I applaud y'all. I mean, I can't take anything from single mothers. This is not for this is not the message we're having right now. To me, I can't speak for Eric, but for me, the message, yeah, hey,
don't be speaking for me.
yeah, the message for me is not for women that are grown women right now.
No,
It's not for y'all.
it's for the future.
Yeah, it's not for y'all because you have what you have. You've done what you had to do. You got to the place where you got to. Applaud you. Hey, utmost respect, right? But this is for. I have 7 nieces. I have 7 nieces. I have no daughters, but I have 7 nieces, right? And I worry about the fact that they're going to be in a position to where they're going to be unhappy.
Look at the look at the man, the pool of men they have to pick from
Yeah,
if they did want to have a family.
yeah, no, no,
It's not
yeah,
promising.
no. I don't see it being promising.
So
And they're gonna be unhappy. So even in having this, like even if we had this talk, right? To the people I'm interacting with, to Keisha and Heidi, right? Even in having this talk, right? This is dialogue. Even with y'all putting your knowledge and putting your points across, right? If there's some young brother watching this or come back and see this at some point, right, he can understand your point of view. I tried to bring some married women on here for this show, for this talk, because I don't ever want to be to where just two guys talking about a situation, marriage, and with women and trying to put words in a
words
woman's mouth.
right. I don't
I
want to do
never
that.
want to do
I
that.
always want to try to come from our perspective.
Um, but the reason why this happened because I got, they backed out on me. So, even with brothers, any male, any females watching this, they need to understand that we think differently. We understand what we hear it all the time. Not, I don't know if we absolutely can say men understand it, but we hear it all the time. We're being beaten in the head all the time that women will not, unless you do X, Y, Z.
Hmm.
Hey, then we'll submit or
Another
whatever.
checklist.
Yeah, it's a checklist. So we understand that, or we hear that so much, to where my point of view is from the stuff that you don't normally hear, the stuff that the unspoken stuff, right? Because men, we do a lot of unspoken things. We just, oh yeah, well, whatever's known don't need to be, don't need to be said, and that's what a lot of men do. We don't never have these kind of talks.
Right, because we just
Uh,
assume
yeah,
it's common knowledge, I
yeah.
guess.
So, like I said, this is not for the ladies. This is not a attack or bash on women, or even if we make light on it, it's because stuff we see. I see, like I said, I see more than he see because I'm always on social media doing something. And I understand. I read all the comments. It's not like I just, okay, whatever, this bullshit. No, I read everything, even from a aspect of if we talk political, right? I read stuff from the Republican side and Democrat side because I need to see the bigger picture. I need to understand why. And like I said in the beginning of the year, it's my quest to understand why of everything. And uh
I wonder if that's a man thing because I find the most joy
mhm,
when I'm on YouTube is just it could be about anything, but
mhm,
reading the comments
mhm,
because I just like to see how other people, how they perceive what I just watched,
mhm,
what their thought process. But I spent out like I might spend 10 minutes on the video and then spend hours going through the comments, just reading over the
mhm.
comments and stuff. I don't know what that's about, but
No, I mean you got to understand what world you live in. That's how I take it. I need to understand if I'm looking for a wife. I need to understand what are my options. Like
mm.
you can build some kind of psychological chart or something. Okay, I think you saying no. Women read the comments too. Read. I think that's what you saying.
Oh, okay. When
That's
I
it.
said
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that a man
yeah.
thing?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah. Um, But yeah, you could build some kind of psychological flow chart in your mind, right? If you
Hmm.
see this kind of, and you look at the pictures and you look at certain, certain mannerisms and stuff, because we got video now. People go live,
Oh
they do
man.
video stuff. You look at certain mannerisms, you start to make a build a certain thing in your head of how this looks like this. Yep, we love to read them too. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that's news to us. I just thought, yeah, I
Right.
thought, yeah, I didn't know females
I
did
thought I
that.
was strange until
Yeah,
you said it.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh,
No, I
okay.
do it. Yeah.
It's a lot of strange people out here, but
Oh.
it must be more common than I thought.
But yeah, I mean, I look at the why. Why would she do this? What does this look like? And then I see, if you see enough of something, right, and you start to see a pattern, then you start to see, okay, this is the norm. This is, a lot of this is the norm. And like I said, this whole gender war thing is something it aggravates me now. I'm just, because I see it so much, and it's just starting to aggravate the shit
Well,
out of me.
my biggest thing is it's not necessary
No, it's not. It's not.
because it's the reason it was man and woman created because we're
Mm,
supposed to come together
mm,
and to procreate. Simple
mm.
as that. What are we worrying about?
Well, okay, this is what I came up to the my results of this, right? It's just like the Bible and the churches, right?
Hmm.
Catholic Church and the Baptist Church. It's the same thing. Same thing. Think about it. The Bible is the book they both go from,
Hmm.
right? Why are you oh
Why
no, that person's wrong.
why you
This
have
person right.
different
Yeah.
ideologies
Why
about
do
the
you have
same
that?
book?
Right? If the end result is that I want a woman to be my, if he says this is me saying a man that might want a woman for a wife, right? I want a wife, or I want a woman. I mean, he might not even got thought about marriage at that point,
Hmm.
but I want a woman to be there with me, and whatever his thing is, what he sees in a woman, what he loves for a woman to be. The woman wants a man, and whatever she sees, whatever. But the end result is the end result. The end result is the same common end result in the middle.
It's
Like
family.
on the right, on the left,
Yeah.
y'all trying to work to the middle, but for some reason, one person stops, and the other person stops. Like, hey, how we gonna get married?
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. I'm not coming that far. No, no, hell no. So it's the same thing. We just cannot. We can't get that gap. We cannot get through this part to where we meet in the middle.
Mm. Yeah. You know what happens? Well, I guess we procreation stops, but it hadn't procreation
No,
hadn't
no, no,
stopped.
no, because
It's just that
mm,
we got a lot of lost children out there
yeah,
because there's no covenant in
mm,
place to protect these kids
no, we get together long enough. We get together long enough
to
to,
make
to,
a
to
baby,
do the thing,
to make a baby.
to do
But
the thing, and then after that,
where's
okay,
the leadership? Where is the yeah in the household?
yeah, no, well, and yeah, communication. Yes, Takesha, I do agree. The gap happens through lack of communication, but I also think the gap happens before the communication.
Hmm.
The gap happens in the psyche, or somebody thinking something's supposed to happen a certain way.
Some assumptions, I
Yeah,
think,
the
possibly.
assumptions. And then after communication, then you still have the assumption of people that will not act upon, whatever they communicated. So it's the thought process that is the bigger thing. People don't want to change their thought process. That's what I think it is. Um, but we have to understand, if when it comes down to it, what do you want? In the end, what do you want?
Yeah, that's
Um,
all about the results.
if you're a man, you want a wife. They got tons of women out here. Um, but
They say 17
what
to
do you
one.
want? Would you say 17 to 1 in Atlanta?
Yeah,
Woo, man, niggas are busy.
yeah.
But
How you get a man to submit?
yeah, and that you know what that's another. Well, we have to maybe dive into
We'll
that,
dive into
yeah,
that.
because that's another problem. The numbers off. And I'm gonna tell. Oh, you know what? Before I thought about this before we went on,
Not a
right? Because
problem.
I was on social media. So uh I've been seeing like a lot of videos with niggas in jail, dudes in jail, right? Been posting videos of women, then you see all kind of comments with dudes in jail. I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? Like they're seeking attention from guys in jail. Like I was on last night, and they this group I'm in, like they get busy at night. Like they just live videos. I saw a strip show with females together, and I'm like, what the hell?
For the jailbird.
No, no, yeah, they was doing it for the jail. I'm like, what the hell? Not strip, but they was dancing. The women had
Oh, that's close enough.
nightgowns and stuff
That's
on.
my
It's
limit.
more than they was gonna get.
If you in
Yeah,
jail,
yeah, it's,
that's naked.
yeah, that's
That's
naked to them. Yeah.
she naked.
So, hold on a second. I'm gonna put your comment up, Takesha, so we can see. You said I'm not an assumer. I'm assumer. I'm slow. I'm used to men stepping forward and saying what they want, a friend, lover, relationship, or further. Okay.
That's. I mean, I don't think that's bad at all. I think a lot of times, see, today in today's society, a lot of men are just.
Okay, Takesha, thanks for tuning in.
I think a lot of men are just kind of skittish when it comes to like long term, and then they have so many options.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you talk about the nature of men who are
The true nature,
the true
the
nature of
true
men
nature.
who were
Yeah,
born to
yeah,
go out there and
yeah,
spread their
yeah.
seed. They actually they have the opportunity to do that,
hmm
depending on where they live, or wherever they live,
Pretty much wherever you're gonna
wherever they
have
live.
a
More women
yeah.
because there's more women on the planet than men. So
If it's not 6 to 1, I mean, I think saying 5 to 1 is an accurate assumption. Anywhere you go, you're gonna have 5 to 1.
yeah,
Black
17,
men, black men. Yeah.
17.
But in here in Atlanta, it's about 17 to 20. Yeah, the last figure I heard it was like 80,000 single women in Atlanta. Like it's crazy.
17 to 1.
Yeah, it's
That's a
it's
lot.
crazy. It's crazy. So
So I mean, so for a man, I mean, how do you ask somebody whose biology says this is you're supposed to find these women and spread your seed to not do that and to go against that in these times? You know, that's a lot.
no, it is, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna stop that, right?
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna stop it, ladies. This for y'all. I'll tell you what's gonna stop that.
let me hear you.
They go through enough and it hits their pockets. This is expensive as shit. It's expensive as shit to date like that. You're not gonna be able to date like that. So at some point, you have to let him wear his ass out. I'm just saying, you have to let him wear himself out.
He had to exhaust his
Exhaust
finances.
his finances to where you know what? This shit is
My pocket's
expensive.
tired as
Yeah.
hell. Let me.
Yeah. Okay. I need to find that woman. I need to find that woman that I can settle down with, that we have like, common interest goals or whatever. And then that's it. He just has to burn himself out. That's
And you know what? In that process, I think he will.
no, it
He'll
happens.
come across somebody and he'll cut it. Yes, I know dudes like that
Mhm.
who just out there doing whatever.
Mhm.
They come across for whatever reason. I don't know what it is about this particular person, but they like, oh, this is it. This is the one. And that's what I say. Men, they don't go out looking for anything. They just take the time. Once they get to know him, like, okay, this is the one.
Mm.
I know several dudes like
Mm.
that who pull that stunt.
It's a stunt. It's a stunt.
It's
and,
a
the
stunt.
thing, like they said, I mean, it didn't take a woman to bring it out of him.
Mm-mm.
It just when he was ready, and then the right type of woman to be around him at that time
Yeah.
when he was ready.
Because think about
He
somebody
valued whatever she had.
somebody who deals with a lot of women.
Mm,
They kind of know women, so it was something
mm,
about her that was able to. And I'm sure the looks were the initial thing, but
mhm,
it
mm,
went beyond that
mm.
at some point because you know looks.
Yeah, only
That's
could take you so far.
it gets you started,
Mhm,
but can you finish the race with that? So
No, no, that's true. And I think um, I see more people focusing on looks, all looks,
mhm.
and not understanding that it's the other things, the little things. I just watched that movie, Little Things, Denzel Washington.
How was it?
It was just decent. It's more of it's
It's,
not too much action. It's more of a thinking
it's
movie.
the new one.
Yeah, the new
Okay.
movie did. So it's the little
Which
things
what
that
where'd you see it at?
um.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on live right now.
Right. Right.
But
I
anyway,
don't know what I was thinking about
yeah,
asking
you what
that
you
question.
thinking about?
I was just because I wanted to partake in it, but
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, but it's the little things, just like it is with women, right? It's the little things for women. Women don't need a lot
Mm-mm.
outside that long ass list. The
Outside
ones
that
that
long,
want the ones that want the long list,
once you get the
y'all
25
y'all want
checklist
a
item,
lot. Some of y'all want a lot, but for women that look at more of character,
I
because
go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I say I don't think either sex really needs a lot, but
No,
it is
they
the
don't.
little things.
Mm,
For men, it's about being appreciated.
mhm, mhm,
I know I'm speaking for myself. I'm not gonna
mm,
say all men, but for me, it's about being appreciated.
mm,
Just recognize what I do on a daily
mhm.
basis, and I don't mean, ooh, you
Yeah,
did.
ticker tape parade every time you do
No,
something.
I
Yeah.
just mean understand
Mm,
for this to happen,
Mm.
this I
Yeah.
must go through all of this
Yeah.
to get this end result.
Mm.
Just that's all. Just acknowledge that. I don't even, you don't even have them to, any representation. Just acknowledge that's taking place. I'm not just. It's not just magically happen. Things just don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think women are the same way. It's not a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but they lead these little things, and I guess they get those and they're satisfied.
Um.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll be talking a long time because I saw a post though. I saw a post earlier today, and I'm like, wow, when are we gonna? When is when? Some people are never satisfied.
Uh,
Some people are
See,
never
I was getting
satisfied.
ready to say that, but I was like, no, I'm gonna cut it out. I'm
No,
not
yeah,
gonna.
no.
I don't want this to be a bashing session
Once
because that's what
again,
they say when
I
you
try to understand the why, and I cannot understand it. I can't. And okay, I
if you
can. No,
go,
I can't understand it. I can't understand. Let me take that back. Disney effect. What I call Disney effect.
yeah,
I can understand it. You can have everything.
no,
The
you
Disney
can't.
effect. I can understand it. Happily ever
But
after.
like you said, some people are. I'm not even gonna say never happy, but once they get comfortable and once, okay, it's time to graduate.
Mm.
It's always
Looking
well,
for the next level.
next level.
And I think men and women do the same thing.
We do, but
Yeah.
men don't expect that out of. I don't think men expect that out of their partners necessarily. They expect that
Yeah.
out of
Okay.
life.
No. Yeah. So men expect that sexually, right? A lot of men expect that sexually. Like, okay, what's the next thing?
Yeah,
Oh, let's do a threesome.
you get to bring a
The
menage.
freaky shit. Let's
Yeah,
do some freaky shit.
call up one
You
of
know?
your friends.
Yeah, exactly. So men thinking in that aspect, and women are more. Women are more or less on the what's the next step of life? What's the next step of what you're gonna do for me?
And see, and I agree with growth,
Mm-hmm.
but it's other things out there that are not growth related. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like it starts once you do it so often it gets overlooked.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess is what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah. No, yeah. It's an everyday process. So,
Hmm.
he's supposed to do that,
Right,
or she's
right.
supposed
So
to do
it's
that.
no longer
Yeah,
recognized that
yeah,
this is actually above and beyond
yeah.
because you do it so often. Now it's like it's normal, which I
Mm-hmm.
guess it is if you do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to go up from that, and I think we need to all step back and just realize what we have in one another. And I'm talking about in a marriage situation, and I think once you can step back and appreciate what each of you bring to the table,
Mm-hmm.
then you start to things go a little smoother then.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you take people for granted, and it's so easy to take your partner for granted
Mm-hmm.
because they're always there. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
assume a
You wake
lot.
up, oh, they still here. Just like lights. Think about electricity, right? You take that shit for granted. Turn the lights is gonna be on.
Right up the street in
Yeah.
my county,
Mm-hmm.
they had a problem with the water.
Mm-hmm.
Take the and I tell if it's any man listening to this is a very important man tip. Always bottle you some water. Have about 4 or 5 gallons per person. Whenever you finish that Hennessy bottle, fill it up with water.
Mm-hmm.
Stick it in the closet, stick it somewhere. But we they had a water main break,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something you take for granted. You just turn on the faucet, you
Mm-hmm.
got good clean water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the water was looking funky as
Brown,
hell, yeah,
brown.
and you couldn't drink. But
Michigan water.
I had been, putting the water to the side or whatever, and that conversation came up with my family. I'm like, see, this is why I
That's why you do it.
bottle the water because you never know when this is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says, okay, we get ready to turn off the water. They give you a week notice.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
cut
happen.
off
Yeah.
or it's just contaminated. It's bad
Mm-hmm.
already. But yeah, that's just I'm glad you brought it up. Men and women, if you don't have a man at home, you finish that. What do women drink? I don't know. Crystal Spring. I don't know what you drink, women, but just fill it up with some tap
They
water.
wine. They
Because
might drink wine or something.
you finish that wine, fill it up with some tap water because this is for emergency. You don't have to like it, but I guarantee
Or
if your
just go
life
buy a bottle of water. Have a bunch
if
of
your
bottle
life
water.
depend on it, well, see, even with that, bottled water is perishable for the most part because it's in that plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But if your life depended on it, you'll drink tap water.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just something that we take for granted that you turn on the faucet,
Mm-hmm.
water will come out that's clean and healthy for you to bathe in or drink or cook with or whatever the case might be.
You see, we learn life tips and everything,
Right.
and
Survival, baby.
survival tips, all that shit.
What's the name of the show where they damn, I can't
Naked
remember.
and Afraid or something?
Nah, the one where they the people be having all the canned food items stacked up and it's I can't remember.
Hoarders? Or is
It's
it?
not hoarders.
Survivalists, the survival people.
It's something like
Okay.
that because
All right.
they think the end of the world is
Yeah.
tomorrow, so they got all this shit.
Preppers. They're preppers. Yeah,
Yes,
preppers. Yeah,
preppers.
preppers. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. See, I don't go extreme in any direction.
Mm.
I do a little bit of this,
Just
a
a
little
little
bit,
bit. Yeah.
just enough. If I gotta be a prepper for a year. If I gotta live off my savings, like my food and water savings for a year, then you know what, I'm gonna die. But if it's a couple of weeks,
Mm.
I
You can
can
make
make
it.
that happen.
Yeah.
I can do that. But if it takes for the rest of my life, I gotta live off the stuff I saved up. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I don't even know if I want to live like that
Nah,
anymore.
nah, that's we are very spoiled and privileged. So
Oh, we are.
we spoiled.
But I mean, just something as simple as that. With that water main break,
Mm,
it brought it to reality, and I had to
mm,
point that out to my kids. I'm like,
mm,
you see, this is why I do what I do. This
mm,
this is the reason. So
mm.
take note and make sure you do the same thing.
All right, well,
It's a good show, bro.
yeah, good show.
Good show. We have some interaction.
Yeah, good interaction. I appreciate y'all, the ladies, for coming through and giving us your comments and your point of view about the subject.
And tell me this?
Mm.
What should I? How should I preface this if to these married women that want to come on? Just what do they be looking forward to as far as talking about?
Just I mean,
What
so
they
we're talking
expect?
about if you were talking to other women, so it's a message to other women basically
Okay,
about picking their husband,
being
what
married.
do they look for? Yeah, being married,
Okay,
because I mean it's a like I said, for most people, it's just the idea. You think you know
you
something
hadn't done
and
it yet, so
you
you
have done
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's secondhand information, but it's somebody that doesn't. Like how it's different if you're married, you tell somebody else something. It's like okay, it's because you know that person. It's a whole different than somebody hearing somebody speak that you don't know,
hmm,
and you get a whole different outlook on it. You
okay.
know, from a certain different aspect. So I don't know. But it's something like that. It's nothing, tell them they ain't gonna come here and get bashed, are you a good wife?
Are you a good wife?
What do you do for your man?
Do you submit to your husband?
Are you submitting?
Do
No,
you
it's not like
submit to your husband?
nah, we ain't doing that like that. But
We putting you on
just
Front Street. We gonna
yeah.
let's get your husband on the phone. See what he
Let's call and see what he say about
see what
this
your
shit.
husband got to say about that. If
No.
he's submissive or not.
When did you look, dog? When did she start submitting? We need to know
Yeah.
because we need to tell
How
men
much
when they
money
go.
did you have to make before she started
Nah.
submitting?
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Nah, just information. Because, like I said, we're talking about something. I don't want to be talking about this topic without
Without women,
women
we really want women's
involved in.
input because
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to speak from a male's
Mm.
input, and I'm not gonna try to
yeah. We were missing that.
step across that
Yeah,
line and say
yeah.
what a woman really knows or wants. Or
And
I
we
can
can give our opinion
I
on it.
guess I can
Yeah,
give my opinion
yeah,
on what I
yeah.
see or what I hear, and it's probably pretty accurate. But it's
Or
still
close, or it's close to it. Yeah.
it's no guarantee because everybody's different for one.
Mm.
But I hear a lot of the same shit out of people's
Mm.
mouths though. So good show. So
Okay.
we're gonna try to get us some married women on here
Yeah,
next
some
week.
married women.
And let's see what they have to shed the light on
Mm.
these young ladies
Mm.
about what they should
Or
expect
to the
in
men. I mean,
marriage.
because this is a black male
Or
show.
to the
Because
men.
men need to understand. We got a bunch of men that don't know like what this expected
What
of
they
them.
expect from a
Yeah.
wife when they
Or,
get
or a
married.
wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, this is for both genders. This not gender specific. Just information is information. And I want to do it in a responsible and non-biased way because we're two men. We looked at it as being
Right.
biased.
As
Y'all.
predators.
Yeah, no, we y'all are the enemy. Like I was told. You a black man. You the enemy. No, I don't want to be the enemy. I won't do that. I won't do that. I want to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We'll see y'all.
We'll see what we could do next week. It
get us
might
some-
be if you can find some ladies that some married women to have this conversation
I
with.
roll in married packs. So
Okay.
maybe I can
Yeah.
find some married women who are
Yeah.
willing to show their face. They don't have to show their face.
No, they don't
though.
have to show
can
their
just
face.
come in
No,
on-
they don't have to do that.
A
No.
lot of people don't want to get on
Yeah,
camera.
no, they don't have to get on camera. They
I
could,
get that.
they could do it, microphone only.
That'll work.
See on the microphone, or you could just mute. I mean, just take the camera off and just do microphone only. So
That sounds good.
But like I said, we'll see y'all next week. We're gonna have a topic, whether it be that or I'm gonna come up with something else. Tune in next week. Have another conversation from a black mailed point of view.
Yeah. All right, man. Good show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See y'all next week.
Appreciate y'all coming through.